Ready, action.
It's 2026. Nice. You're supposed to celebrate. It's a new year. It's 2026. And we thought it would be fun to do something a little bit different this time and take a moment to reflect on last year and look ahead to what we got planned for 2026.
We've talked about doing one of these style of videos for years, even before Jesse joined the channel officially. It's just never happened. This is the busiest time of the year, wrapping up the year. We just hosted back-to-back group trips, and we finally just made ourselves sit down, go over this. Jesse's got a whole list of things we're gonna talk about, and we're really excited to share what has happened this last year and what's gonna happen going forward.
I think sometimes we forget ourselves to look back and be proud of the things that we've accomplished. I think sometimes we can kind of live really in the moment and forget about that stuff.
It is hard when you're in this industry and you're go, 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 and you're always looking to the future for content, for trips, for all of it. You gotta celebrate your wins and you gotta celebrate your losses too, because you grow during them. And so I'm really excited to dive into this because neither of us have had a moment this year to just pause and kind of take it all in. So this is the moment and we're gonna share it with you. We're excited.
Yeah.
Okay. Open them. Oh, interesting.
Full
of love, of laughter, of joy, of hard work. Sorry, I couldn't do one word. I mean, this is the word, full.
That is a word.
It is a word, but that's what it represents, of everything, of plans, of a little bit of chaos, of life, full of life. It's been a full year.
So full in a positive way?
Yeah, but there's been full of adjustments. There's been learning curves. There's been hard things. It's just been a lot. Like, I feel like this was the fullest year of my life in every aspect. We have new friends. We have a lot of new friends, and we've actually figured out a way to somehow work that into our life, and it's made it full.
Yeah, I like that.
What's yours? Adjustment?
Adjustment. So I don't think we ever really made like an announcement, made a deal about it. So last August 2024, I left my full-time 9-to-5 job that I worked in for 17 years. To join Laura and do this full time with her. And that's been an adjustment. I think that's been an adjustment for us. We're together all the time now, which is a good thing because we've always spent a lot of time together.
We had a little bit of prep for that with the pandemic because before that, you went to your job. I was reselling vintage full-time, so I was pretty much home and thrifting. And you were going to your job. So this was like a whole nother layer on top of that previous adjustment. I don't know if we could have done it if we hadn't already had that adjustment of being home together all day.
Probably not.
We still had our own separate careers, but we were home together all the time, if that makes sense. Now we're home together all the time and we're completely involved in each other's business all the time.
I think adjustment, it sounds maybe kind of negative a little bit.
It does a little bit, but I know you.
Yeah, I don't mean it to sound negative because I'm coming out of a very structured environment and now having some freedom to create and work the way that we want to. It's just been an adjustment.
I've definitely seen you thrive this last half of the year. So first half of the year, I think we went into this last fall in 2024 with a lot of big ideas and a lot of big goals. And we've been talking for ages. I mean, this had been the plan all along, folks. I mean, from the day we started Hide and Chic Boutique selling picture frames in 2011 on Etsy, the goal was always for both of us to be able to follow a creative entrepreneur path. And so, especially that year leading up to it, we finally had to make a decision because there's never really going to be the right time. You're always at some point going to have to take a risk.
I'm not a risk taker.
No, he's not a risk taker.
I found that out really quick that I am not a risk taker. So making that decision was
huge.
It was a very tough decision. I remember the months leading up to making that decision, even though it sounds like, oh, I'm gonna go work for myself and live this dream, it was really hard.
There was a lot of just like independence, I guess, for you to try to figure out where your role was in it. So we started gearing up for our group trips to launch them, and I just saw him come alive. He was thriving in the spreadsheets. He was thriving in the data. Obviously, you thrive hosting the group trips too. He's very pivotal to them. Anybody who's ever been on a group trip with us knows that. I just loved seeing you really find your footing.
We do spend so much time together, and we do a lot of talking about
We're
everything.
dreamers. You might not be a risk taker, but you are a dreamer. There's too many things we want to do, so trying to actually make the right business decisions isn't always easy. I love that you did say that, because I do think that is what I witnessed you do this year. You shifted your entire life. By the way, that's Lorenzo. He's playing with his brother right now. They're playing hide and seek. It sounds more violent than it actually is. But anyways, I think that was a really good word choice. And when I first saw it for a split second, I was like, oh no, that's like not a super happy one, because I want everything to always be cheerful. But that is exactly what today is about some of the harder, more realistic sides of being entrepreneurs and self-employed.
Okay, so I thought I'd do something kind of fun. You know, I'm kind of more of stat guy, and I like looking at stats, and you're very creative. I like putting something together that kind of, I don't know, I think this will surprise you.
I'm scared.
Here's a number. We had 161 group travelers last year.
Did we really?
Yes, new and old friends. We went to 8 different countries, and we had 7 group trips. And I think 161 people made new friends with each other too.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I know they did.
I know.
That makes me so happy. Sorry, I'm still processing that. 161 people trusted us with their vacations. That's really, really amazing.
Okay. Next. 475. You know what that is?
No, I have no idea what it is.
If I, right now, decided I am going to watch Laura Caldwell videos from this moment on, I wouldn't be able to stop until 475 years.
No. Wait, I didn't make 475 years of content. I haven't lived 475 years.
You had 4,163,469 watched hours last year.
Whoa, hold on.
There is 8,760 hours in a year. You do the math, that would be one person spending 475 years nonstop watching your channel.
Now you freak me out. Now you really freak me out. Okay, I'll get back to you on my thoughts on that one. I need to process that one for a while. You've had longer to process that.
Is that weird?
Yeah, that's super weird.
Okay.
Wow, thank you. That's amazing.
Last one, 129. Based on the number of views you had last year, that's how many 100,000 seat stadiums you would have sold out.
What? What? No, stop it. What?
129 100,000 seat stadiums.
That's less than Taylor
Worth.
Swift.
That's more than Taylor Swift.
No, she did 149, right?
So I have the number here.
I thought she did 149. See, I know Taylor Swift.
You had 12,941,935 total views last year.
Okay.
That is 2 million more people than went to Taylor Swift Eras Tour.
That's hilarious.
10,168 people attended a Taylor Swift Eras Tour through the whole time.
I love you that you knew. The only way I would be able to understand numbers like this is if you compare it to Taylor Swift. That's really, really sweet that you did that. Yeah, that's crazy. And obviously, thank you to each and every one of you. I do get a little bit freaked out when I think about how many people watch, because I feel like I'm just making this content for like one person when I make it. I think that's how I rationalize it in my head, so I don't freak out or get stage fright, because I actually do get stage fright. I don't like doing public speaking. I'm getting better at it on our group trips. It's really helped me, like getting up in front of people, and like from the first group trip to now, that has helped my confidence a lot in that way. But I've always had a public speaking thing. And so I don't like to think about these numbers because it kind of scares me. But I also am grateful that you did put these numbers in there, because that's what this is about, is celebrating. And I think we've accomplished a lot thanks to you. You've accomplished a lot with us, and we're really just celebrating that today.
Sometimes we get so caught up in the work of it and focused on just getting the next video out sometimes that we lose sight of the number of people that are enjoying the content.
And that are taking time out of their day to watch it, which just still blows my mind. We're super grateful for that.
475 straight years.
475. I'm more excited about the comparison with Taylor Swift concerts. Now we're going to talk about our favorite finds that we found all year. We've been on adventures all across the globe with group trips, some solo trips. We've thrifted all up and down Oregon. We've been all over the place doing thrifting. So it's really hard for us to even remember everything we find, honestly, but also it's just hard to decide what are your actual favorites because there are so many things that we buy that we love. Even if we're going to be reselling them, sometimes we really love them. So this is a hard one for me, and I'm sure I'm going to miss a lot of really good ones that some of the viewers are going to remember, but here's some of my favorites. My first one I want to talk about, I'm hoping is also one of your favorites, and it is the Northwest largest garage sale light fixture that I found. The triple light fixture that we're going to put over the stairs. That's in my top probably 5 favorite finds. Did that kind of make your top finds?
It didn't.
Oh, womp, womp, womp.
But I wasn't there to find it.
Okay, so it doesn't count because it was my find.
Yeah, I wasn't there.
Okay.
I actually don't have a lot of favorite finds just because I don't find a lot of stuff. You find a lot more things than I do.
You've had a good year though. Hasn't you had a really good year finding stuff though?
Yeah, I've had a great year finding things.
I think some of my favorite things we've found are actually your finds. So another one of my favorite finds was actually also from the Northwest largest garage sale, and it was the beautiful painting. This one is so different than paintings I typically pick up because it's so full of color, and it's a portrait, which I do get some portraits, but not a ton. I'm drawn to landscapes. So I really loved this one because typically this bright, colorful, cheery color palette doesn't really speak to me, and I love this painting. And the fact that I got it for such an incredible deal, of course, makes it extra special.
This is probably my most favorite thing of the year. It feels like a long time ago, so I actually had to look back at my notes and make sure it really was this year. But the Macintosh stereo equipment, it is like dream stereo hi-fi equipment that I would never think that I would have. But, you know, when Tori came and met us at PDX Estate Marketplace in February and showed us the pictures and just that whole experience of being able to go into her grandmother's house and help them with some of the items they had, you know, selling the speakers that we got for them too.
Yeah, the ones at the Rose City Vintage
Yes,
Market.
and selling those for the family. Yeah, just getting to meet Tori and her family, and then the stereo equipment that kind of came out of all that. It was just a really great experience. Last thing I expected was when we went to that PDX Estate Marketplace that would happen. We do get quite a few people contacting us, wanting us to buy something for their stuff. And it's not always stuff that we would necessarily buy. It's also, we've got plenty of stuff of our own already that we're trying to work through and sell as well. So we don't necessarily always have the bandwidth or capacity to take on more things.
Yeah, absolutely. We wish we could.
Yeah.
I wish I had the ability to just move everything for everybody. But unfortunately, something that we've learned with your adjustment this year is time is precious, and we have to choose it very carefully where we're spending it.
Yeah.
But in this case, all the stars aligned, and it was his literal dream set. I'm so happy for you to have that. I think since you've gotten that, it's really filled this home with even more music and better sounding music too. Another one of my favorite finds this year is everything I found in Norway in June. Everything I found, my entire basket, my entire haul. I love everything that I got in Norway. Some of those pieces I sold, some of them I kept for myself. If you have not seen the video, you've got to go watch that because I found amazing things. Okay, here's my 2 favorite Goodwill finds.
Okay.
The first one is the tramp art frame from Goodwill. I couldn't believe it when I was walking down that aisle and I saw that sticking out. I was like, ah!
I do remember that very vividly. I remember it was at West Salem Goodwill. And when you walked out of that store, you were like shaking.
It's pretty pathetic that like a thing can bring you that much like excitement, but you don't want it to always hit because otherwise it wouldn't feel so good when it does. Like if every time you walked into Goodwill, you found a piece of tramp art, you wouldn't get that kind of joy when that one time in 7 years you see a piece of tramp art at Goodwill.
Yeah. I mean, that's the rush. That's the
thrill of the hunt.
The thrill of the hunt. But you're right. We don't want that every day.
No. I'd go broke if I had that every day. Okay, the second favorite find from Goodwill this year for me is the blue Batosi planter from the Griffith Park Goodwill. That was an incredible score. It's one of the few Batosis that I've ever found at Goodwill, and all of the other Batosis that I found at Goodwill I have actually sold because they tend to be a different color palette than the blue. Right. I think the blue ones are so easy to spot and they're so hard to find at a thrift store. That was a complete score.
Yeah. So the only other one for me that really jumps out to me is the tension pole lamp.
Yeah.
Because I've been looking for a tension pole lamp for years. We've inspected some that we've come across and they just haven't been right. And I'm so glad we waited and we didn't get some of those. I haven't actually got it set up yet where it's gonna go.
We're flooding in the basement recently. If you haven't seen our last video,
Yeah.
it hasn't helped the
No.
situation.
So yeah, we're still looking for a home for it. It'll get included though. But
A home in our home. A home in our home. Sorry, we're not selling.
Yeah, we're not selling it, but I'm really happy with it. I think it's
Yeah.
exactly what I've been looking for a long time, and it was a pretty good price too.
Yeah. I'm gonna pick a favorite for you because technically it's your find, so I can't claim it. But
Okay.
your stereo cabinet.
Oh yes.
Because every time I look at them, I'm just so happy because this stereo situation was all his. I was like, you pick anything. We have really similar tastes, I think, when it comes to furniture especially. So I wasn't too worried, but at the same time, I didn't know what you were gonna pick, and it's gonna be a very pivotal thing in our living room. When you picked those, I was so happy because I love them so much.
It fits in well.
It fits with our style. So all in all, it's been an amazing year. There are so many other things that we found that I'm sure we're completely spacing over right now. So we want to put this question to you. What are your favorite finds that you found this year? Put that in the comments below. We want to celebrate your wins and your finds too. So we would love to hear what your favorite finds of 2025 are. Next up, we're gonna do something kind of silly, but we're gonna rank our 3 favorite meals we had all of last year. So we are foodies. We love traveling the world and trying different foods. We've eaten incredible foods around the world. Now, we're gonna both write down our top 3 favorite meals we had in the entire year, and then we're gonna see if some of them overlap, because I'm very curious what you're gonna say.
Okay.
On the count of 3.
Are we ranking them?
Oh no, you're gonna turn them around and then we're gonna rank them, because we're gonna show them first. They're gonna get to see first before even we see.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes.
Set. Okay. What are they? I just saw one of yours and it cracks me up. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Number 3.
Number 3 for Jesse. So your third best.
Third best.
Okay.
In Istanbul, a wet burger.
Oh my gosh, the wet burger,
Yeah.
that steamy bun.
I know, it sounds gross. The wet burger. That's number 3. And you know why
Okay.
that's number 3?
Why?
Is because it's like a tomato saucy burger. It's kind of sloppy Joe like.
Yes, it has a sloppy Joe
And let me
flavor.
tell you, I hate sloppy Joes.
Do you really?
I hate
How
them.
did I not know
I think
this
they're
about
gross.
You? They're so good. You never had my mom's.
Have you ever seen me eat a sloppy Joe? You've
No.
known me how many years?
I've never seen.
Where are we at?
I've never seen him eat a sloppy Joe.
Yeah, never had a manwich. I don't like sloppy Joes, but a wet burger was awesome. And you can't tell me that means I like a sloppy Joe, because if you put a sloppy Joe here and a wet burger, I'm not gonna like a sloppy Joe.
But you love a wet burger.
I love the wet burger. It was sloppy Joe-like, but it was so much better.
Okay, I feel you on that. It didn't make my cut, but
Okay.
let me give you my number 3. You
Okay,
ready?
Yeah.
My number 3, I think, is your number 1, and it's Da Enzo Carbonara in Rome, Italy.
Not on my list.
Da Enzo's not on. Is it because you forgot?
No, it was gonna be my honorable mention
No way.
because we'd been there before.
So, like, technically, it could have qualified as a previous year.
We went there first in 2024. It is one of the best things I
It's
still
the best
ate.
carbonara you'll ever have. It'll ruin you for life,
That's
but it'll
true.
also be amazing.
That's true.
So Da Enzo
Okay.
Carbonara is my number 3. What's
That's
your
good.
number 2?
Number 2 is the sandwich in Florence.
Yes, I knew that was going to make your list. That's the one I saw that cracked me
That
up.
sandwich was delightful.
Did
Can
you
I say
tell-
delightful?
Yeah, you can say delightful.
That was delicate yet crispy.
That was a crunch. That was a legit crunch.
It was everything that you want in a sandwich.
If you're ever in Florence, Italy, you have to go to this sandwich shop.
Wait in line for the 45 minutes. It goes by fast.
Yeah.
You're
And
standing
it's all
there.
about the anticipation.
Yeah, and then
You're so excited.
get the sandwich,
You're
get
gonna
any of
the
them.
Best sandwich.
I think you can get any sandwich on the menu and it's going to be amazing. Also, you've got to get either the Chianti orange little
Yes.
beverage, or I like the Campari soda. It's a sparkling bitter soda. I can't remember what they called it,
remember
but it's like
either.
Campari with soda. I like
And then
that.
mine was red wine and
orange soda. It was like Fanta. It was
Yeah,
like
it was
orange, soda,
Fanta.
and Chianti.
Yes. And it was actually surprisingly good.
It
I'm
was
not
good.
going to lie. I was kind of like, okay, I'll get that one. And then I was like, wow, this is refreshing.
Number 2. What's your
Okay.
number 2 meal?
Fogon in Argentina.
Wow.
The entire experience was amazing. I wouldn't say there was one specific bite of food that would equal the number 2 best things I've eaten in my year, but I would say the entire experience and just overall, the food was outstanding. And even though we had been told by a million vlogs that Don Julio was the best restaurant in Buenos Aires, I disagree. Fogon was better. I thought Fogon was amazing. So that's my number 2.
I had Fogon as my number 1.
Oh, you do?
I do. I wrote Fogo, but I meant Fogon.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, you know how much I love a meal where I don't have to pick anything.
Yes, that's your favorite.
So the fact that I just got to sit down and then they started bringing me food to eat, perfect. And it was great food, so that's just perfect experience for me.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad that was your number 1.
Yeah.
You want to know my best meal that I had in the entire year, and I'm still dreaming about it. Every time I wake up, I dream about it. What do you think it is?
I don't know.
It's breakfast.
Oh.
I know. What amazing
Oh,
breakfast
the
did I
Turkish
have.
breakfast. in
Turkish
Turkey.
breakfast, and it should have been on your list probably. You blew it.
You're probably right.
I think I
That's
would have made
okay.
your list. Breakfast in Turkey. Oh my goodness. First of all, his wet burger is delicious. But not only that, everything we ate in Istanbul was some of the best food we've ever eaten. It didn't matter if it was at a hotel, it didn't matter if it was street food on a food tour, or if it was Turkish breakfast in a nice restaurant.
Yeah.
It was amazing. We were only there for 4 days in between hosting Croatia and Greece, and it was not enough time. We cannot wait to go back. If you want to see our adventures in Istanbul, we did film a vlog there, and that's going to be coming out on our Laura and Jesse channel later this year.
You know, we do a lot of crazy adventures, traveling all over the place. One of my favorite things last year, though, is the road trip with Brian, Heather, and Chris.
Yeah,
where we road trip to Reno and back. It just felt so simple, and it gave me the old days vibe, you know, going on a road trip. You know how much I love driving a car. So
He does love driving. I don't know if they actually know that. Jesse loves driving cars.
I do love driving cars.
He
I mean,
loves it.
I will just go, hey, Laura, I'm going to go for a drive, and then just go out for an hour and listen to music and just think. I think that's like my meditation.
Yeah.
Is driving a car. So that road trip was just fun.
Well,
and we got to hang out with 3 good friends the whole time.
I love shopping with Brian and Heather. They're resellers too. And Chris is especially fun to shop with because he looks at such different things than we do. And I think that's the thing about this industry for us is we have what we're kind of attracted to and drawn to and what our shop aesthetic is. But overall, we just love antiques and we love learning about vintage and antiques. So it's really fun to shop with people who are into different things too, because you really get to learn a lot. And even though I'm not going to pick up those same things when I see them, I'm always like, oh, I know what that is. Chris told us about that. Oh, I wonder if Chris would like that, you know. So it makes it really fun to having friends in the industry who are into different things to learn from. That was an awesome road trip. I definitely think that was one of the highlights of the year. I think that one of the most special moments for me was actually a 5-day special moment, but it was the Oregon coast trip. I think that I put a lot of pressure on myself for that trip because we host international group trips, and you can ask someone to pay $4,000 to go to Italy because you know why? It's Italy. It's stunning. There's castles everywhere. There's wonderful Italian people. There's delicious food, great vintage. You are not going to disappoint people in Italy. And I feel like the same for Paris. You're giving people the amazing flea market experience in Paris and the Eiffel Tower lighting up at night. And I feel like those are pretty easy sells. Like these beautiful countries sell themselves. And we do a lot of work planning those trips, but I think that the destinations themselves hold a lot of value. I think a lot of people don't realize how expensive the United States is for travel compared to some of the countries that they're built on tourism. So they have very competitive rates for that stuff. I was nervous about the cost of hosting an Oregon group trip and what people would be paying to invest to come on this trip versus the experience that I was going to give them, because anybody could fly to Oregon from a state for, you know, a few $100s. So the reason that Oregon was so special is because it was better than I could have ever hoped. You can only plan so much. You can only plan so many things and hope that they line up and that everything falls into place. But it's really the people that make the experience. And I think that was a beautiful lesson for me to learn, that yes, I still need to do all of that planning to try to curate an experience. But at the end of the day, whether a trip is successful or not, and whether people feel like their money was well spent, is the community that they got and the experience that they got. That group is still chatting almost every single day in our private group chat. And I just think that it was a magical experience. And I'm so glad that I got to be a part of it and bring those women together and just see this community, that's forming.
I think that's what it gets down to, is all of these group trips. It's not necessarily about the destination, it's about the community, and we see it every time. I think I always tell you this, people make the party. It's something I always say. It doesn't matter if you're going to a wedding or going on a group trip. If you have the right people, it'll make it fun.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you're getting at, or what we experience a lot, is the right people are there. So it doesn't matter the location, it doesn't matter maybe the DJ that you hire. If you've got the right people, it will make it fun.
Yeah, I totally agree. And you are all the right people, because this community has given us so much. I feel like part of why I chose full for my word is because my heart is full with friendships and relationships and the community that has come from YouTube. I never could have seen this coming. I love to plan in the future and predict things and guess what's going to happen. And we'll do that later in today's episode too. But I never could have seen this coming the way that it has. So we made the decision to try out group travel, see if we liked it, see if it worked. But I never knew what it would kind of develop into. And I think it's the biggest gift of our life. I really do. And it's an honor to get to kind of give people a space to travel in a way that they feel comfortable and in a way that they're accepted and they're going to find community. I think it's been very fulfilling for us. Yeah, so that Oregon trip, all of our group trips are amazing, but that Oregon one was special for different reasons.
Because I wasn't there.
He wasn't there.
Girl trip! Woo!
Well, I can tell you right now, I'm very excited for something that's very soon, 2 weeks away from when this video comes out. I'm doing a solo trip to India and I cannot wait. I am so excited. So I'm actually going solo, but I am meeting up with a group trip. So I'll be in India for just about 4 or 5 days alone, and then the rest of it will be with a group trip. I'm very excited about it because I feel like it's going to challenge me. And I feel like I haven't been challenged with travel on my own in a long time. Yeah. We've been in great groups. We've had guides that take us everywhere and show us everything. And I feel like I'm ready to get out of my comfort zone and challenge myself a little bit. And I'm also really excited to vlog the entire experience for you, because I'm going to do it a little bit more intimate style, where you're really going to get to kind of come along with me, kind of like I did for the first Norway vlog.
It sounds like a long plane ride, if you ask me.
It's 2 long plane rides. Oh my goodness. I'm not looking forward to that part, but you know what? You got to suffer if you're going to explore the world. Every single time I'm on one of those long haul flights and my legs are cramped, or I'm tired, my back hurts and I can't sleep, all I do is tell myself this would have taken explorers 6 months 150 years ago, and then I don't feel so bad anymore. Everything's just got to be put in perspective sometimes for you to feel gratitude. So if you want to follow along on my adventures in India in live time, I'm going to be sharing a ton of content on my Instagram at Left Coast Revivals. And I know sometimes when I say this, people comment and they say, oh, sorry, I don't have Instagram. Get it. You're not going to want to miss this. I promise. It's going to be that good. So I'm going to be sharing all the behind the scenes, what I'm up to. I'm even going on a tiger safari. I'm very excited.
Well, I'll be following along on Instagram. Laura.
Yeah, Jesse's going to follow along on Instagram too.
It's like a 12-hour time difference from where we're at. So there might be times where I do see things on Instagram before I talk to you.
Yeah, that's true.
Just because. You know what else we're doing next year is we're going to Australia and New Zealand. Down under. And I also got this book to kind of help me with translation.
Talk like an Aussie.
Talk like an Aussie. So, that's a fair dinkum fire.
What does a fair dinkum fire mean?
Like if there's a fire and it's like a legit fire, it's genuine.
It's a fair dinkum?
Yeah, it's fair dinkum. But we're excited to be going to Australia, New Zealand. We're also excited to meet some of you who are Aussies or Kiwis. So maybe reach out to us and let us know where we can see you.
Where we can See ya. We are so excited to be going to Australia and New Zealand, and we're going to be doing 3 different meetups. We're going to do the first one in Melbourne, and then we're going to do one in Sydney and one in Auckland, New Zealand. Those are the 3 locations where we have the most time to be able to do a meetup. So if you are a vintage reseller or collector and you want to come say hi to us, we are looking for places to do a meetup. If you know flea markets that you love that would be really great for a meetup location, or if you know antique stores or you own an antique store, please reach out to us and let us know, and maybe kind of put the buzz out there with locals in the community and see if we can maybe work together to collaborate and kind of set something up. We're really excited to meet some of you, and we've got time set aside in all 3 of those cities to do meetups. I'll go ahead and put on the screen here the dates that we're in each city and kind of when we might be available for those meetups, and we can't wait to come and visit you.
I'm excited to go to Australia. I'm not excited to drive in Australia, but I'm excited to go there.
Yeah, I think one of my things I'm most looking forward to in 2026 is watching Jesse drive in New Zealand. I can't wait. We have a rental car rented because we're going to Hobbiton, which will be probably the highlight of my life. And I cannot wait to watch you lose your mind driving on the other side of the road.
It terrifies me.
You're gonna do great though. You're gonna do great. And I know how to do it. If you don't, I just can't promise.
That terrifies me too.
Bump
I'm
the
not
car
gonna be
a little
honest.
bit.
I don't know, not that you're a great driver, and I don't mean this as you're not a great driver, but I don't know what terrifies me more, riding in the passenger seat with someone else driving on the wrong side of the road or driving myself on the wrong side.
I don't know. We'll have to find out because I'm sure we're both going to be doing some driving. So we'll have to update you on which is more terrifying actually.
If you're an American and you've been to a country where you drive on the other side of the road, let us know how scary it was.
Hello.
It was scary.
Scotland, it was terrifying, but we did it and it was fun. And I think the roundabouts were the hardest. And then whenever there's like a mountain and then a drop off, that's scary. Mountain drop off and you're just on that's scary. That's no way around that one.
Avoid the mountain drop off.
Yeah, mountain drop offs, no good, no good. Another thing that I'm very much looking forward to in 2026 is launching the Laura and Jesse channel. This is something that we've been wanting to do for a long time, and we've actually been storing away, stockpiling content that we have filmed throughout the year to launch that channel. So right now we're just kind of in the phases of we're trying to get through all that footage. We're trying to get these videos edited. It's going to be different content than what we're doing on this channel, but you're not going to lose anything from the content that you're currently getting. If anything, you're going to actually get more content. It's going to be a different side of us. It's going to be the more adventurous, silly side of us. It's going to be us checking off things that we've wanted to do our whole lives since childhood. And you're going to kind of get to watch us experience that. And we want to take you on those adventures with us. So I think that's the thing I'm probably the most excited about for this new year. And if you want to head over to that channel and check it out right now, you can go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It does exist, and so does our website. But right now, there's not really much other than a couple photos.
I think a thing I'm looking forward to is just getting some more content out, having some more conversations like this where we can just be casual and we can talk about things or ideas that we have, maybe play some stupid little number games like I did earlier or whatever.
Yeah, I'm always up for number games.
Yeah, or maybe some educational stuff.
I love that. I love filming educational
stuff. Some follow-up stuff. We've got an endless list of house projects we need to get to.
We do.
That is a huge thing I'm looking forward to for the next year.
I think we really put travel as our number one priority in our life, and I have no regrets about it. It's been the best thing in the world. We're not necessarily holding back on that anymore, but now that we have Jesse on board and we've gotten kind of a rhythm this year, I feel like the last half of this year we really got in sync. We really got in a good rhythm. And so I feel like we're going to be able to take on even more going into this new year. And who knows, maybe we'll even have some additional help to get to some of this and get it out, because we've got some really, really cool stuff planned.
I think this is going to be the biggest year of our lives.
You think so?
I do.
2026?
2026 is going to be a massive year. The things that we've been talking about and some of the plans that we have or ideas, there's some really cool things that are going to be coming soon. So
and we can't even tell you about.
No, we can't talk about.
We can't tell you anything.
Can't talk about
like not even teasers.
No, we've already told you too much.
I just can't even wait. So you better keep your eyes and ears open and make sure you're subscribed, because you're not going to want to miss when we start announcing things.
Okay, so I thought it would be fun if we wrote down 3 goals for 2026.
Okay.
And then we're going to put them away in this box. We're not going to look at them or anything.
Okay.
And then next year, we're gonna do this video again, recapping 2026, and we're gonna look at our goals and see if we got them.
Like a time capsule.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm down.
All right.
So only 3?
Only 3.
And do they have to be realistic, or they could be anything we want?
They could be anything you want, just goals or predictions.
Just real goals,
whatever you
real
want.
predictions. Okay.
There's no rules.
Okay, are we going to show them?
No.
And then nobody sees it until...
No, because then you would see it because you edit the video.
This is true.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So you don't get to see it.
This will be a secret until next year.
And I don't tell you.
You
It's
don't tell me.
okay.
No.
All right. I love
Okay.
this. I love this. Also, though, don't let us forget to open this next year. So I expect by like 1st of December, I expect reminders on our videos to make sure we don't forget to open this, because I could see us putting this away for a year, getting busy and completely forgetting about
Right.
it.
Yeah. 5 years from now, we're
Yeah.
cleaning out this box and we're like, oh yeah, I
What?
forgot about that.
A real time capsule.
Still didn't accomplish that.
Oh, no. We're gonna meet our goals.
Okay.
We're gonna meet our goals.
All right.
Okay. I'm
Don't
ready.
let them see it.
Okay.
Don't let me see it.
I won't let them see it.
Okay.
Okay, what if somebody knows handwriting really well and they can tell what I'm writing because they analyze this? You know, people can like tell when people read lips.
They're probably more interested in how you're holding that pen.
I got nothing to say on that. Just one more thing Taylor Swift and I have in common. Woo!
All right. You ready?
I'm ready. I want to do origami right now, but we don't got time for that. All right, sealed.
All right. Sealed. And that's it.
Okay.
Thanks for hanging out. It was kind of nice just talking and kind of recapping. I know you and I don't do that enough, and I think we're going to start doing that more.
I think you're going to see more casual content like this from us.
But you're still going to get the other stuff too.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll
Yeah.
never take away from the
Don't
thrifting
worry.
content.
It's all happening.
And I just want to say, celebrate your wins, everybody, because I think it's really important that we do pause and we take a moment and we celebrate all of our hard work. And it doesn't matter if you are raising children and that's your hard work, or you're building yourself a career, or you're taking care of your parents, and whatever it is that's hard and that you're putting a lot of heart and soul into. I think you got to celebrate all that hard work and your efforts. And even if you don't reach a goal, we might not reach some of these goals. It's okay. And you're doing the best that you can. And I think that that's really, at the end of the day, what you got to celebrate is like, we made it another year, folks, and it's been a good one. And we're super grateful. I think this is the most incredible career path for both of us that we ever could have dreamed up. We're so grateful, and we're so grateful for you. So
I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you too.
I'm proud of us.
I'm proud of us.
And I'm proud of everything that's happened and
Yeah.
going to happen. So I'm excited for 2026.
Me too. Here we come, 2026. It's going to be a good one.